Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to KitchenTableMeta. In today's episode, I have an interview with the lead designer of the Chrono Clash system, Mr. Ryan Miller. Now, I had a chance to sit down with him at the Origins Game Fair, and I wanted to do something a little different than just a standard interview, and I wanted to play 3 games of the Chrono Clash system, the Naruto-Boruto version of that system, with Ryan Miller. Now, keep in mind, this was pre-development footage, so this was, the rules are a little different then, but don't worry, I have you covered. I made an entire rules document with all the questions and every single rule that I could think of revamped and explained. I also took all the cards and put them in text version for you. So if you're not sure what a card does, head over to that spreadsheet. You can see everything about that. Now, I do have the link to that in the description, and I will be updating that periodically throughout the week. So if you have any questions at all, just let me know in the description below, and I'll do my best to update the sheet and answer any questions you guys have. Also, keep in mind, since this is a little outdated, I did have a chance to talk with Ryan before posting these videos, and we'll be doing an updated, more traditional interview for you guys. So what I want you to do, if you have time, is in the description below. If you have a question for Ryan, just list your question, and then I'll be bringing your name up and your question up in the next interview videos. So he can see your question and we'll answer your question. And the person who has the best question, which will be chosen by Ryan, will have a really special little gift that I'll show you guys at the end of the third video of this series. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the interview. Again, if you have any questions, all let me know. And thank you so much for watching. All right, guys, so we're getting ready to go into the next game here. The first game was just a slaughter. Easiest game of my life. It was not hard at all.
It was pretty bad though, because you ended the game with 4 Guardians, so that's not great. Not great for me, but what are you gonna do? I don't purport to be good at this game. I just designed this.
All right. So while we're getting started, I want to ask you kind of a question that I get asked a lot. And I always love, every time I talk to a designer from anything, I always like talking about this. And that is, if people, kids in high school are interested in getting into game design.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Well, what's the best way to do it?
Oh, I mean, if I knew the best way, to me, it's kind of like, I was watching a video about writing, and one of the things, it was some famous writer whose name I've forgotten, but, and he basically said, the first rule is write. And so what I would say to people who want to, get into game design is just start designing games now. Play lots of games and design games. And one of the other rules I learned with writing is it's okay to write badly.
Sure.
Right? So don't, like, if you're daunted by like, oh, I don't know how to design this, or, just be okay with your first iteration of games is going to be bad. And that's okay. But you're getting something out of your brain onto the table. And by playing it, you're going to learn so much. And so that would be the first thing I would do, is getting into game design, is just start designing games, playing lots of games, and designing lots of games, right? As much as you can, knowing that, most of them never going to see the light of day. I've got notebooks from my teen years of like just games that are never going anywhere. Right. It's not going to happen.
Oh, they'll cost $6,000 to make. I'm going to have this come in. And
so, I got an EX card.
Oh, is that why it's blue? Oh my god. Okay, well, now I have to win. Now I have to win this game.
So for me, the way I started, and we can do this. So the highest cost is going to start, and then these will become the prize cards of the 4
that's my
to 2.
Favorite. Oh, now you put it on me. Now you're gonna put it on me. Oh my gosh, my favorite card. Here we go.
The way I actually got started was when I was about 11 years old. I was at middle school, and a friend of mine told me about this game called Dungeons & Dragons. And he didn't tell me how to play, he just kind of explained what it was. He's like, oh, you play all these cool characters, you might be a knight or a wizard, and my eyes are just getting bigger and bigger. And he's like, yeah, and you like go in battles, and you go in dungeons, these things, and I'm just like, you've sold me, bro.
I'm already sold.
Don't you sell me anymore?
I can't wait to play.
He goes, cool. He's like, oh, we're playing, I don't know, in a few days after school or something like that. So I, that day, go home, and I'm like, Mom, I want to play Dungeons & Dragons, right? And she was like, you can't play. And I'm like, what? And she goes, it's satanic.
Sure.
Because this is in the 80s when that was a big kind of thing, right? That was the news. Now, we weren't super religious, but that was the news bite. If you heard D&D, that was the news bite you heard.
It's like that, Mortal Kombat, like you couldn't.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, no. And so I started designing my own games. Like, I just started
cool. So
like...
a way for you to play something that you want to play.
Yeah, so I made up, I started with just role-playing games. I just made it because that was the only type of this type of game that I knew, and there was no game store in my town. there was a bookstore that had like a tiny section. It was mostly role playing. It had a little bit of the like Rogue Trader, like 40K Rogue Trader stuff.
Right.
And so, and I didn't have any money. I was a trailer park kid, so I didn't have any money to buy much of that stuff anyway. So I could afford a pencil and a notebook, and I could plunder dice from the games. In fact, my first D20 I got from a kid at school for $3.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I still have it. It's still on my desk today. And the joke's on him, because now, you know, he probably thought, this idiot, you know, this is like, what, 50 cents a quarter for this thing? And I'm like, I did not care. I'm like, you have a D20, I have lunch money. I will go hungry today to have a D20. Still have that dang thing today. It is awesome.
Yeah, actually, when I was in middle school, I actually used to do this thing with my friends, similar to what you're talking about. I took a notebook, and I made these things called paper quests. And I would draw like a town. I would draw a town or whatever. And if you walked off the, you know, you're like, I want to go over here, I would turn that page, and that would be the next part. And that was like kind of like a little mini D&D thing.
Oh man, that's so cool.
We played recess. I mean, you know, basically a giant nerd, but no, I loved it. And like you said, I mean, one thing I love about you, and we talked about it before, was, you know, if you want to be a designer, I think the best advice I could give is take criticism.
Yeah,
you have to take it.
I tell you what, it is rough because game design is an art, and artists tend to put some of their own soul into your games, right? And when somebody pushes back, it can be really tempting to feel like they're pushing back on you as a person.
Right.
And the best thing you can do is forget that notion entirely. Just understand that first of all, understand that not every game's for everyone, right? So if somebody doesn't like your game, maybe it's because it's just not for them, right? It's just not a game for them. But also understand that all feedback is going to make your game better, right? If you can either change your idea based on the feedback, and then your game is better, or you can defend your idea against the feedback. Either way, your game has gotten better, right? Because you are either stronger in what your game does and how it works, or you're like, hey, that was a pretty good idea. Now, knowing the difference and knowing when to do that is the experience. That's where experience comes into play, right? But all feedback is valuable. It's just a matter of how you take it, because at the end of the day, as designer, it is your job. I always talk about it like a sphere. Like, I want a game to look like a sphere. And when you first make a game, it's just going to be bumpier than a golf ball, right? It's just going to be all this stuff, right? And your job is to start to smooth out. The problem is when you smooth out a bump, sometimes it makes 2 bumps come up over here, right?
Sure.
Now, a playtester is going to want to go, no, just push that bump in. They're not going to know. It's up to you to go, well, if you do that, you're going to see these other 3 bumps go here, but the feedback is still valuable, right? Because it's like, so that's a big part of it. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I mean, I would say, in that vein, something I'll do always is, no matter what the feedback is, no matter what they give me, I always listen to it, because I feel like if you shut them down once, it will stop them from giving feedback.
I'm gonna hit your guardian stack
right here. Okay, here we go. Now, if I kill this, then he gets +1 time off of this.
So I'm like, I'm sure. And you do, and no guardian. I love it. So I'm gonna go up to 3 there. So long, Kiva. Sorry, but you did your job. Okay, all right.
So let's in that vein, in the sphere you're talking about, what was the biggest knob that you were afraid to push in? Like, what was the hardest one to get to smooth out the sphere?
When I came up with the Chrono class system, which is really all about this thing here, the rest of it is kind of around that. It was such a different way to play cards. Like, most games rely on some sort of variant of the mana curve, right? Like, you start with a few resources, and as the game goes, the mana goes up, or whatever. We call it mana, but it's really what? It could be gold, it could be leadership, whatever, and it goes up. And that's a tried and true system for a reason. It's a good system. Because what you want is you want a game where a 2-cost guy and a 10-cost guy both have a world that they can reasonably live in, right? Yeah, you did. All right, let's see here. I gained 2 time. Thanks, buddy. And I blow your guy up.
I have recovery.
Oh, yeah, recovery. So when he's attacking, he doesn't die. So that just goes away. Yeah, those guys are good for the speed there. And then you were attacking, and what does he get? Oh, he's a 7 on attack. So he's not. Oh, but look at that 12 right there!
Come on! Boom!
He just splats against a brick wall there. That was pretty awesome.
This guy over here, that's unbelievable.
Okay, all right. So, see, another good counter to this guy, because I can't attack battlers with this guy, and while he's tapped because of Sentinel, I can't attack his Guardians either. So it's a rough day to be Ryan. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so let's see what I get.
It's actually unbelievable.
What's that?
That's unbelievable.
That was awesome.
You killed my guy.
One of the things I love about the Guardian system. Now, I worked on Duel Masters, and so those of you who played will definitely see a parallel, right? This is definitely similar to the Shield system. What I love about this, and it's another good game design concept, and it's called Hope. Hope is very important in game design. When I often say, now I learned this early on. My dad loves playing Risk. And when I was a kid, he loved playing with me, and that was really awesome. We got to play Risk. But there was one game where I had New Zealand and Australia, and that was it. He had the rest of the world.
Right, everything. Right.
New Zealand and Australia is really easy to turtle up in because it just has that one access point in New Zealand. It's the only way to get down in Australia. So I'm just like, building. And I finally said, Dad, I can't win this game.
Right, I'm done.
I'm done. And he goes, and he, being dad, was like, no, I'm going to teach you a lesson about never giving up. And
right.
And I'm like, yeah, but, and what that taught me was when hope reaches zero, the game should just be over. Right? If a player has no hope, then just have your game end. Like, and it's okay, and especially if it's a quick playing game, like a trading card game style game, because then we just shuffle and play again. It's awesome, right? Yeah, so it's okay to say, you know what, hope has reached zero, and if you're working at, and getting game ending positions are kind of hard to do sometimes, but it should be a way where it's like, okay, now what this does though, since it's unknown information to both of us, you know, if, like, let's say I knew what my guardians were at all times, that could also reduce hope, right? Because then it's like, you know, like I could see that I have no guardian abilities, whatever. So by having this be hidden information to all players, it adds that level of hope. As long as I have even one guardian, I'm like, okay, something I can do. It might be
awesome.
Right? Like this, flipping that 12 on his beefer of a guy, that was awesome, right?
Yeah,
it was,
cool. Yeah, it was super fun. I loved it.
It's
so much.
The hope, and hope creates excitement. I know you love it, right?
Yeah,
I just love it. It's great.
It's
so great.
I hope that happens every time I
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah, and also, like you said, when hope reaches zero, too, it's unfun for both players. Because,
absolutely.
Because your dad didn't get to finish the game. And you,
yeah. And he...
speaking of hope reaching zero.
So, yeah. Now, I'm sorry. Yeah, he allows me to tap him, and now I am invincible!
Dun, dun.
Briefly! I don't know. We'll see what you got to counter that guy. But, yeah, this is... that 4-time was a good deal for me there.
That is very good.
But now you have 4-time.
Okay, so we're going to figure out, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to go...
And the other thing I want to always say, whenever I talk game design, especially when I'm showing one of my games, I always like to impress upon the viewer, the listener, whoever, that this game does not represent perfection. Right? Sure. This is not the epitome of everything I'm talking about.
Right.
These are... you do your best with the time and resources you have, because what I really want is I want to create fun. I want to create awesome experiences for my players. No one game's going to do that for everyone, and no one game's going to be perfect to that. And if it was, then it would be the best-selling whatever.
Right, it'd be the holy grail. Yeah.
So whenever so it's easy when I talk game design. Sometimes people go, well, this card doesn't do the thing you just said you should always do, and I'm like, yep. Sometimes,
you're right.
You're right. Yeah. That's a game that either that card was a mistake, or that card is in there for different reasons, or there's other things right there. So I just want to point that out. I am not super territorial about, I'll talk game design all day, but doesn't mean I've achieved perfection with every design I've got out. What I did was I made as fun of a game as I could make in the time that I was given, and I think this game is a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite games to play of the games I've designed. This is one of my favorites here. I'll play this any day.
All right, so I'll play side, and then I will return this to your hand.
Yeah.
5, 6.
All right, my turn. All right, so and you don't have. I can swing now, can I?
Yeah, you can.
All right, so I will go double double attack on you there. So
now, if this kills him here, he doesn't get the second attack.
Right.
So that's what we're shooting for. That's what we hope.
No, that's not what I hope.
That's what we hope. We both hope that together as a team.
No. Yeah. Oh wait, do you get a thing?
Oh, I do. And if this dies, then I can bounce something to your hand.
Oh.
So
in that case, that would stop the second attack right there. Oh man, I was gonna drop this thing down. It was gonna be super sweet, but no. Fine. Well, shoot. All right. Well, Chrono's gonna help me out. Go ahead.
Okay.
If I had him out earlier, you wouldn't be able to do that.
Right, so I think what we're going to do here is, I'm pretty sure he's going to die. I'm pretty confident. I'm if I had to maybe guess, but we're going to see if we get lucky and see if he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to see if I can get, so +2 time would still not make me in. So we're going to attack and see if I can get super lucky here.
Nope.
Oh, it's actually the same card.
Oh, and I get +3 time.
Oh my.
Thanks.
Okay, well, I thought
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Well, you got that. I wonder.
And just like that.
And just like that.
Just like that.
Dusty's turn was over. Oh, jeez. Hey, you didn't see that.
I didn't see it. I was deep in thought.
Oh. All right, you know what? I'm just gonna play a little cagey with you. I'm gonna just drop a 2-drop so that you will have to wait. Is that right? I think that's probably okay. That guy's kind of annoying.
Yeah, this guy's super annoying.
Yeah.
He looks annoying. I mean, he looks like a guy that would get annoying.
So I got into the industry actually 20 years ago at this very convention.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was at the time I was working at Wizards of the Coast Retail. This is back when they had a really nice chain of retail stores up in the Northwest, and I was assistant manager of one of the stores. And the WotC corporate said, "Hey, we need some retail folks to run the booth at Origins." And I'm like, "I want to go," because I'd never been to a big convention before.
I want to do it.
I'd never been to a big one. I've been to a couple really small ones, but never a big one. And so I'm like, I want to go to that. So I go. My friend Chris Kiritz comes with me. We run the booth, and we have our lunch hour is the only time we could go to the other booths and buy other games.
So
And
you're
all
like
that stuff.
rushing
So
your
I'm
rush
just going, rush through the lunch hour and maybe have a hot dog. Anyway, there's a guy named Luke Peterschmidt who at the time was a brand manager at Wizards of the Coast. I had known him because he had done a game called Guardians, which was awesome. It was a trading card game. It was beautiful artwork. It was just a really fun game. He'd also done work on a redesign of this old game called Rage. It was a White Wolf trading card game about werewolves.
Oh, okay. I've heard of
So
it.
this is a long time ago, kids. Yeah, 20
This is
years.
back to when trading cards were blowing
This
up.
is
though.
back.
There's so
This
many.
is before the turn of the century. That's how long ago this was, right?
This is when you find out Ryan's 100 years old. He's actually a vampire.
He didn't have cards. We had woodcuts. We had your woodcuts there. It was this thing. Shuffling would just tear your knuckles apart.
Calluses.
So I knew who he was. I'd never met him, and I just walked up to him, introduced myself, and started talking about game design and gamers and all this other
That's
stuff.
so cool.
And thankfully, he was a super nice guy. Still is a dear friend of mine. In fact, I was just out at his place in Pennsylvania a week ago to work on game design stuff.
That's so cool.
And in fact, tomorrow I got a cake made because this is our 20th anniversary. So I talked to him, and I just was, part of what I tell people is you got to be a little shameless. You have to be. People that are in the industry are in it because we love it, right? We love it, and we have decided to take a much less lucrative career path because we love games so much, right?
Right, absolutely.
And so we're generally geeks about this stuff. So you want to come up and talk to us about game design or about games or something like that? Some people are like, I don't want to bug you. I don't want to no, it's okay. Right. They will tell you hey, I've got a thing to do or whatever. But I just want to Luke. And so not 2 months later, he calls me at my store and says, hey, I've got this associate brand manager position I think you'd be great for. Why don't you come interview for it, right? And that was my big break, right? Because from that, I went to corporate. I was able to meet a bunch of people. That's how I met the folks that I eventually left to start Sabretooth Games with, and we did the Warhammer 40K trading card game.
Absolutely.
And then after I got all that experience of being in a small company and making a trading card game, I basically, after Sabretooth got bought by Games Workshop, and they moved them all to Memphis, and I didn't want to move to Seattle. So I basically emailed Bill Rose, who is the VP of R&D at Wizards of the Coast, and I said, you should hire me. I was basically like,
can you please hire me?
Here's what I've done since I left Wizards. And I'm one of the few people with this kind of experience. And it took a few months. It's a slow process. They got me in for a couple interviews. I talked to people like Mark Rosewater and some other folks, and then got the gig, right? And so it was really, it took me from the time I moved to Seattle in '98 to finally getting Wizards of the Coast R&D was 7 years. It took me 7 years of just hard work and networking and working, right? And so it's not easy to get into, but it's super fun. It's the family I chose to, I opted into, right? And it's really been great.
I actually think that's the best tip that I've heard is if you want to do something like this, I mean, games are a blast. We love it. You said we're both passionate, but it is a job. It is work.
Yeah,
and I know some people ask me about the YouTube channel. How do you grow a YouTube channel? I tell them, and they're like, that sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
Oh, but it is. It is. It's not a fun thing. It's a work thing. It's also fun. Right?
Yeah, it's like I can't complain about my work, but it is definitely work. And if you want to especially game design is a great example. It's easy to design the first 2/3 of a game. But it's that last third that is like, oh man, is it hard? And if you can prove your ability to push, even not a great game, but just prove your ability to get a game past the finish line like that, that says a lot about your drive, your determination, your work ethic, all these things. And those are the types of things that publishers are going to want to see. They're going to be like, wow, this guy is okay, right? Yeah, he can actually do this, right? Because there's a lot of people who have ideas. Ideas aren't worth very much. It's execution, right? I always say, without execution, France would still be a monarchy, right? I mean, that's
true, yeah.
So execution is the most important part. Obviously, I'm using the homonym there, but it's still true, right? Yeah. So Sorry, your turn.
Speaking of execution.
Oh no! What have I done?
It's a good transition. Here we go.
All right, so 8.
Got him.
So long. All right. Now you got your recovery, guys, so you're not doing terribly. And if you have a 1-cost EX, I'm dead. Oh, you don't. Yeah, if that is a 1-cost EX, I'm dead, but it doesn't look like it is. So once again, I'm doing terribly. I think this deck and that deck are not good matches. Oh no!
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, so now you're like, I don't care. I'm giving you a lot of time.
Yeah,
what are you gonna do, bro?
Should be okay. I think.
What are you gonna
feel
do?
Like I'll be okay here. We'll
What are you gonna do? All right. Well, this guy is hard because he can't attack at all. This guy attacks for 7. Not useful right now.
It's actually close though for a 2-drop to take on an 8-drop. It's actually really close.
Let me see if I have anything that would. And I do not. All right. Well, great. Great. Let's see. I could do that. Oh, I could. Okay. All right. Formulating. Okay. So what I want to do then is trade this fool for that. Now, when he's destroyed, I do that.
That's so cool.
Still can't take out
again. He
dude.
didn't attack with us because he's afraid to lose. Like to lose.
So I'm gonna go for broke because this guy actually he'll attack 3 guardians. So I'm hoping that I get through all 3 of those because then I win the game.
Yeah, ooh, that's true. Holy crap! Please don't do that. But this
Come
guy
on,
has
come on.
Sentinel.
Oh, this guy has Sentinel. Oh no! You know what? I don't want.
Zero hope. Are we zero hope?
No, we're not.
Is this?
Flip the.
Do you have New Zealand?
No,
Is
I'm
that-
actually mad at myself for not RTCing. Right? Like I got to read the cards sometimes because it sure be nice. All right, I'm not without hope. I am not without hope. I keep telling myself, well, at least let's take care of that fool so that there's one less guy there.
Absolutely.
I'm going to take care of that with 7. I'm going to squish that fellow there. And then, you know what? I think I'm just going to have to do my own Sentinel
Ooh, I like that.
there. So that will be...
She actually kills him, too.
And that does that, which is kind of nice. So
Yeah, it's
there you go.
actually a really good play.
And
Exactly.
I get to do that. So now I've got a couple of guys. So we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, this is actually unfortunate, guys, because...
I mean, you could just trade, right? But still, yeah,
No,
that's...
but this is not...
Do it!
I feel like Ryan's really good at, like, leading you into, like, oh, now lose, there's nothing I can do. Perfect play, get wrecked, like... All
I
right.
accident into most of it. I'm just really good at pretending like I meant to do a thing. Like, that's a really strong... And I'll tell you what, man. I, in game design, have done... That's happened to me more than a few times, especially with trading card games. So the thing about trading card games is, what you hope for are a lot of really interesting card interactions, right? And you design for that. You design for combos, you design for that. There will always be combos that you did not see coming, and I love that. It's scary. It is the scary part of it, because if it's a combo's too good, then it really hurts your game, right? It can almost be the death of a game, right? But that's what I like about it. But the players will think that you meant to do it. And it's really tempting to go, oh yeah, I totally thought of that.
Took you guys long enough to find it.
All right, yeah.
It took you how long? Unbelievable.
But you know what? That one of the things I love about these types of games are the discovery, right? The discovery is really fun. Oh, you are playing fast and loose, sir, because you want me to trade now. Yeah.
I'll return this to your hand.
Oh no, I didn't see that. You don't want me to trade at all. Oh man, I am not happy here. Okay. Well, still sentineling me. So I got a couple. I don't have a couple options. You got +1 guardian attack, so that actually reduces my options a bit. I could just give you 3 time. I think that's probably what I do. All right, so it's the Boruto. It's the Boruto battle here. Yeah, it's the matchup that hopefully you don't have another bounce, and yeah. So yeah. Come on. Still think I have a chance. This guy keeps me in the game, really, because the triple.
He's so good. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
I mean,
didn't realize he had 3 time. That's
Yeah,
insane.
that's keeping me in the game right now. And if you kill him, he goes back to my hand. So
All right, so we're going to play this for 3. 1, 2, 3. And this I draw an EX card.
okay.
Then I can choose one of my cards, including it here,
Yeah.
and return it to my hand. So doesn't matter. I'll just choose this guy. And I choose one of yours and return it to my hand. So I'll choose this.
Actually, now you could have chosen this if you wanted to.
I could have. Yep.
But I think this is better for you.
Yeah. And then
And then you kill. Why won't I ever win? All right, let's. You know what? I don't. This deck is. Who built? Did Peter make this?
No, George, of course.
George.
Yeah, so I told you before. I tried to tempt you into taking this one.
Good thing he's pretty.
Yeah, I know.
No,
Yeah.
now you're